racing line, although we see the number 51 of Daquan also take that line, but it's Borelli who holds P1 on the entry into turn 1.
Yeah, great turn 1 for Borelli. Alvaro Lucas continuing to lose some positions, so he just needs to get himself settled in yet again. Finn Crackerville also entering the top 10 yet again out on circuit, but Carlos Cano does a move away. We've seen it time and time again from him. Travis Borg wide off the circuit in the background, but he does rejoin, and Longarella moves through briefly before being sat up by the number 1. To turn 5 we go now.
Turn 5, a crucial moment. Are we going to see any moves? It looks like Longarella on the inside of Cano doesn't quite get it done. Borelli still leads with Cano having to defend from the number 45.
Borelli's looking nice and comfortable at the front of this race. I think it's fair to say that number 7, he's looking nice and confident, and certainly over the line, just over 1/10 of a second he held. He's showing no signs of pressure. However, Tassini still in the running for the AC Racing team. A slight gap forming between himself and Longarella, but as we see time and time again in the European Talent Cup, as we go down the straight, usually those gaps close nicely.
Those gaps will close nicely as we see Longarella. Does he make the move on? Not this time. Cano right behind in P3 up the inside at turn 11. Had to stand up a little bit. Stays on the bike but loses a couple of bike lengths to the number 45. He'll gain those back through the next couple of corners.
Couple of corners left on this lap before we head to the penultimate circulation around this iconic circuit. It is going to be the dress rehearsal as we have a little replay, a little look back to this moment for Carlos Cano. Briefly lost the rear as he got on the power. Nice and, well, not nice and smooth, but nice and hard, and certainly for him losing a little bit of ground. What can we do though on these final 2 laps? It's certainly building to be a showstopper in the European Talent Cup. Will it be Cano? Will it be Ramadipa? Could it even be Tassini? We're going to have to wait and find out as Ramadipa hits the front.
Ramadipa hitting the front at turn 1. We've seen him be at the front of the field throughout this race, despite that penalty that he was given. It's a remarkable comeback for the number 32. We see the tension in the 72 Motorsport Art box.
Yeah, and certainly Carlos Cano's father watching on with a little bit of tension. I think it's fair to say, watch his son do battle out on circuit. Currently Cano showing his 4th for the timing screens, but sitting around 6th or 7th position out on circuit. A big moment there for the number 51. Cano's going to take advantage of that as Longarella also looks up the inside at turn 5. It's full on elbows out action. Nobody taking anyone from prisoners for this one. Corpushin up into 2nd as well. He's gone under the radar after fighting his way from about 5th or 6th position.
He has gone under the radar, but now, as we said before, last couple of laps, this is the time to get in position to make the move on that final lap. We see Lucas having a potential look at turn 9. Doesn't look like he made the move 6th. Carlos Cano on the run into turn 10 will probably need to get ahead of Tassini here. He goes up the inside, under braking, sliding his way in, and again, very close to the number 4 there.
Very close at turn 10, lines merging into one yet again, and Longarella, he does slot back into 3rd. He does wait a little bit longer. This is the dress rehearsal and it is now over. It's all time. It's time for elbows out action at the front of things for the European Talent Cup. Remember, the sole race of the weekend. 25 points here in Barcelona before 25 points up for grabs in Valencia. The championship looks to be going to the final round. And well, what better way to decide this race than a last lap thriller. Ramadipa leads over the line. They head towards turn 1 yet again, but Carlos Cano, the number 1, is on the attack. Watch for Alvaro Lucas as well on the 46 CF Motor machine. Now tipping into turn 1 it is Carlos Cano who leads the way.
Leading out of turn 1, he'll be vulnerable down into turn 5. You would think the field will close up on him, and if he remains in P1 into turn 10 especially, but Cano will want to be out in front. He'll look to try and build a gap. Maybe he can work with Ramadipa, who's challenging him at the moment heading into turn 4. We'll see what happens. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Ramadipa and Borg there.
Yeah, Travis Borg there, a little bit of contact between himself and will look to be Alvaro Lucas actually out on circuit. Ramadipa running nice and comfortable at the moment in P2, but Carlos Cano at the front of things. Has he waited for the perfect moment to pull the pin? At the moment he's looking nice and strong, but it's all going to be on what sort of advantage he has on the run to turn 10.
At the last sector point he was a 10th and a half clear of Ramadipa. That's going to close out through turns 9 and 10. Potentially not enough to be short of P1 on the exit. but it will be close. Will anyone go on the green on the lot? A couple of riders look like they touched the green, so something to keep an eye out for potential penalties.
The inside line Cano he launches a move up the attack at turn 10, and he has made it work on Rama, Dipa. However, Lucas also making some moves, and that looks to be a few mistakes further down the order, so not what they'd be hoping for at all as we do continue on at the front of things. Morelli now back down to P8, P9 after that error. But Carlos Cano, 2 corners now remain. Will it be himself or Rama, Dipa? Could it be a last corner move? The 32 looks up the inside, but Cano swoops round, and it is going to be Carlos Cano who takes victory, or will it be? It's a drag race, it's a photo finish at the line, and we await to see on the timing screens who is it going to be. Rama, Dipa showing 7,000ths of a second. Carlos Cano, second place for himself, but a massive day in the championship. Rama, Dipa, what a final sector. He built that one up, and it was a drag race all the way to the flag. 7,000ths of a second between himself and Carlos Cano. Karpushin takes the final spot on the podium. Alvaro Lucas, P4 for himself. Travis